Item number 2, old business, to approve the minutes of the June 25th workshop and June 25th regular Board of Commissioners meeting. Commissioners, please let me know when you're ready to proceed with a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Minutes are approved. Public commentary. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand to be recognized. Come to the microphone and direct your comments to the board, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Yes, sir.
I'll go up there. Oh, this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What used to be over there from a kid?
Things have changed.
Okay, I'm here.
Please tell us who you are.
I'm Glenn Holland. I live right here in Blue Ridge off Highway 2. And my tax bill come in with an equalization hearing, $550 more than it's supposed to be. And I talked to Mrs. Sosby, because the bill come from her, I was required to go to her. And she said she'd have to check into it, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining because the bill was done through an equalization hearing and it stated the dollar value and all that they're supposed to use. So she also asked me what was going to happen to the first equalization that was not complete, incorrect. And she says, that's got to come off the books. So I come to you, Mr. Helton, 2 months ago and asked to rerun my equalization. I still haven't received no answer from nobody. I've also been to the clerk of the court and asked her to rerun it. It was not complete, so according to a Joe Adams, which is in charge of equalization for the state of Georgia, with it not being complete, it should be allowed. But I can't go to the tax assessor's office. The law requires me to come to the commission for that part of it. And, but why 3 years in a row, my tax bill has been wrong? That's it. I've got the paperwork from equalization if y'all need to see it, that states what it should be. And Mrs. Sosby gave me $245 roughly back because I had overpaid at 85%. So because of all of this, being told by the state what to say, I'm calling for the state audit of the tax assessor's board, office, and the tax assessor herself. And that is within my rights as a taxpayer in this county. I understand she's not here and she can't take that right now. But so it's a deal that this needs to be corrected, and I've been told by the county bill collector, tax collector, that it needs to be corrected. So I'm asking for y'all to tell me how I go about it now.
Mr. Holland, the Board of Commissioners approved the budget for the tax assessors, and we appoint the board. That's really it. Your issues have to be resolved through the tax assessors, or equalization, or the Superior Court. And that's really all I can tell you at this point.
Well, that's not according to state law, because Joe Adams has been informing me to how to do it. He is the expert. And it needs to be done. I want it off from my name. I'm the only person in the whole state of Georgia that's got an incomplete equalization hearing. And I have the documents that's given to me when I filed it that says it should have been done the day we had the hearing. It cannot be postponed.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Who would like to be next?
Ralph Garner, Blue Ridge Police.
Excuse us. Technical difficulties.
As our elected sheriff, Sheriff Kirby, and his deputies are not at the unilateral directions of Chairman Helton. Now, it's with that thought I want to remark on the June 19 confrontation in animal control between a dedicated volunteer, Kirk Williams, who had worked as much as 4 and 5 mornings a week for the past 3 years for no wages, and Chairman Helton, who has shown little interest in reports of problems at animal control. In the upshot, Williams approached Helton to ask why he ignored the problem reports. Helton called the sheriff, accused Williams of threatening him, had the responding deputy write a complaint of criminal trespass, and banished Williams from the animal control property. First, it is wrong for Chairman Helton to dictate to a deputy what citations should be written and what it should say. That is not right, and that is contrary to the level of interest in pet rescue and compassion for animals expressed by Sheriff Kirby when he first ran for office. And second, Williams told me he did not make any threat, and I believe he is too sophisticated to expose himself in that way. Certainly, I do not support either physical threats or spurious accusations. And to determine which of you has trouble with the facts of this matter, I challenge you, Stan Helton, to authorize a polygraph test. Finally, I ask how many of us would work 4 to 5 mornings a week for 3 years at animal control for no pay? At the other extreme, I have a letter to the News Observer dated May the 1st of 2013 that I've indexed as follows. Quote, Stan Helton's scurrilous letter against pet rescuers and Jandy, unquote. I ask you, Post, to work with the pet rescuers and counter the chairman's long-standing and mean-spirited mindset toward their concerns. And here are some figures to encourage you to do so. 2018, Eaton's Tri-State Pet Rescue took in and transported roughly 900 dogs, whereas Animal Control took in 405, of which Tri-State pulled 150 for transport. And the Blue Ridge Humane Society took in 114 dogs. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to be next? Mr. Webb.
I'm Joe Webb. I live in the south part of the county in Dial area. At the first year, I brought up a public safety item on road strike. I agree that it got darker a lot sooner back this winter, but we still have a problem on a rainy, dark night of seeing the stripes on the road. We do have basically some striking being done. Newport Road got striped about 6 or 7 weeks ago. As of the last meeting, I asked for an open records request for a striping list. There is still no striping list for this county. So how can we say we're going to stripe in a month if we don't have a striping list? We cannot manage what we can't measure. This is a day-to-day function, and I understand the post commissioners can't necessarily get involved in day-to-day. But again, this is a simple public service issue. It's something we have to do. It's sort of like cutting the grass beside the road. We probably got a schedule for that. But anyway, if we're going to manage these things, we have to have better management reports for the post commissioners and to the public. But as of right now, the official document says there is no striping list in Fannin County for road striping. The budget amendment thing has drug on. I don't see it on tonight's agenda. It is the law that we do basically adjustments to the budget. The law says we do them as we make the adjustments. Now, I heard a lot of discussion with the auditor saying, well, this is what you should do. I heard basically a lot of discussions, well, we want to do this, and maybe we ought to go ahead and do them as they happen. Well, it's the third quarter now, gentlemen, and we haven't done any budget adjustments for 2019 yet. I guarantee you we've adjusted the budget a few times. So again, this is a day-to-day sort of issue, but things aren't being changed. Until someone directs a manager to manage something and change something, nothing will change and nothing will get managed. Again, we're in the third quarter. We should at least be adjusting what we did in the first quarter to the budget. Third point is if we had a capital budget and we had a narrative, and again, these things are required by the law, the local constitution, legislation, then we wouldn't have all these questions and we wouldn't have some of the surprises we have in these emergencies that we keep having. If we had the management narrative, if we had basically the capital report, then maybe Commissioner Johnson could sit down at his kitchen table and understand what the business is he's trying to help manage. I guarantee you he can sit at his kitchen table and tell you how Johnson Paving is doing, and it would be nice if he could do the same thing for the county. So again, this is the law. We ask the post commissioners to force the chairman to follow the law. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to be next? Yes, Miss Eden.
My name is Janet, and I live in the county. I want to address the animal control issue, holiday pay, holiday hours for employees of animal control. I guess because I don't have a life, I was watching to see when our animal control employee came in on July the 4th, being that a holiday, and he came in at 7:05 a.m. and left at 8 o'clock a.m. Less than an hour. Let the dogs out into the outside runs, did not return until after 1:57 p.m. I'm not sure exactly which moment he returned, but left the building at 2:48 p.m. Less than an hour. Let the dogs back in from the outside runs. We can look at this a number of ways. He was paid 8 hours, time and a half. That came to a total of $203.04 based on his $16.92 per hour wage. Why, commissioners, are we paying someone for 8 hours at time and a half when they did not even spend 2 hours on the job? Mr. Hilton's explanation for that to me directly through and with John Drollinger in a private meeting was, oh, they work long hours other days. They've already made up that time. I would challenge you, commissioners, show me the documentation. There isn't any. So they're just going to tell us they work extra hours, and then there's no documentation. You can't find a paper trail on that. I think we have a problem. We have a problem in that we're living in 1950 with our animal control, and we are condoning, Mr. Hilton is, Mr. Patterson in a phone conversation agreed, Mr. Johnson I haven't spoken to about it, that this was okay. And if that's how you're managing the rest of the county, because I'm not familiar with the rest of the way you're managing the rest of the county, we're in bad shape, folks. There's nothing right about that. Mr. Johnson runs a very good business, and I admire him greatly for the hard work and the job that he does in his personal business. I think he knows that. He's worked for us, and I know how hard he works. But I also believe that Mr. Johnson would not pay somebody for 8 hours at time and a half if they came in for 55 minutes left and went back to one of their family members' homes in the company truck. So we drive for 11 miles to Blue Ridge to let the dogs into the outside runs, and we turn around and we go back to our son's house in the company truck. Somebody needs to get a handle on this. I think it's pretty bad. So I'd like to address the Kirk Williams, but I'll do that at the next meeting. Thank you.
Who would like to be next? Anyone? Public commentary is closed. Okay, moving on to new business. Item number 3, variance request. First of all, is there anyone here that's in support or has a variance before us? Anyone? Okay. Is there anyone here that's opposed to any of our variances that we have this evening? Nobody. The first variance is for Richard C. and Darlene Dickinson, 105 Spruce Drive, and this is out on the very south end of the county towards Skeena Gap. And their variance request is to build a garage 37 feet from the edge of Spruce Drive and 42 approximate feet from the center line of Spruce Drive. And it's basically a garage, and it is not a county road. Commissioner Patterson, do you have any thoughts or questions on this?
I looked at it yesterday, talked with Mr. Dickerson. He's gonna do it upright. It's, very remote area, but a nice subdivision, so I don't have any issues.
Commissioner Johnson, anything?
I have none.
Okay, all right. I have none either. I will make a motion that we approve this variance for Richard C. and Darlene Dickinson. I make the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Variance is approved. Item number 4 is a variance request from Jeffrey and Monica Gatt. And this location is at 169 Stewart Mountain Road. This location is being sold from the prior owner, and they already have a foundation placed. And one corner of the house is 50 feet 2 inches from the center line of the present road instead of the 55 feet from the center line. And this is a county road. I have looked at this, it's all far enough, and there's woods between the road and the house. Commissioner Patterson, do you have any thoughts on this one, sir?
No, I have no issue with it.
Commissioner Johnson, anything, sir?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion that we approve this variance for Jeffrey and Monica Gatt.
Make the motion.
All right. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Variance is approved. Okay, item number 5 is the reappointment to the Fannin Board of Department of Child and Family Services, DFACS. And Ms. Kathy Henson is asking that we reappoint Mr. James Jones back onto the board for the next 4 years. His term ends this month, and he would like to continue to represent the foster parents of Fannin County. And certainly Ms. Henson and her folks do a great job for the county. It's a great service for people in need, and Mr. Jones wishes to serve. Anything, Commissioner Johnson? Okay. I will make the motion that we reappoint Mr. James Jones back to the DFCS DFAX Board for the next 4 years. I'll make the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second? All in favor? Okay. Mr. Jones is reappointed. Item number 6, we're following up on the discussion we had at the previous meeting about the old fire station next door. And we had a pretty good discussion about what the needs are. And the most immediate need, from my perspective, would be a new, to have it re-roofed. It is leaking. It's not in danger of falling in right now, but another hard winter over there could really take us backwards a long ways. So commissioners, any thoughts of Commissioner Patterson? We have a couple of quotes in here for this. One quote is from Steve Stacy Roofing, and the total quote for this is $30,723.16. And the second quote we have is for J&D Construction and Excavating, and their estimate quote is $28,147. And J&D Construction did our old jail that houses our current maintenance office a couple of years ago. And as far as I can tell, that work has turned out fine. You have any thoughts or anything further on it, Commissioner Patterson?
Well, I looked at it today and talked to some people over there that worked there. It's in pretty bad shape. The concern I have probably is that we have some moisture, as you said, that we might, I was just concerned if the roofing was going to do the job, because we might have some drainage issues as well. I don't know if there's any way, I know that these two quotes, they checked the roof out, but I guess we won't know until we get the roof on and see. It's got a lot of work that needs to be done, and I don't know how long it is anticipated for the people that work over there that their office will remain over there. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm okay with the roof, since they said they needed that, and we'll take it a step at a time. But, hopefully that will cause all the moisture problems to go away, and I think there might be some mold in there too. We may need to check that out as well. We don't want any danger to our employees, certainly not.
What do you think, Commissioner Johnson?
As I said last time, I believe we need to start with the roof first. It's the most glaring issue. Or concern that I would have with the building. We start with the roof, stop all the leaks, and there's no telling how old that old roofing is, or how long it's been on there. The differences I see in the two quotes are, of the J&D Construction, they're saying they're going to, for one, they're going to tear the existing roof off, which is something I would rather have happen. The existing shingles and replace any of the decking that's there. So that's the way it looks to me. It's in their description and under their total price, to where the other estimate is $65 per sheet of plywood. In other words, it looks like the differences are they're willing to fix any repairs that there need be, where the other company, it could be extra charges. And also in the quote, it looks like, when I parked this afternoon, I noticed all the fascia boards, most of them were rotten, and in their quote is saying they're gonna tear off all the fascia boards and replace with new. So, not only just price, but as far as the amount of work that's gonna be done, looks like, looks like it's a significant amount more with J&D Construction.
Commissioner Patterson, to answer you, I think we should plan on that building being available for office space. There's other entities in the county that we support that may have need of office space here in the near future. Rentals in the Blue Ridge area, of course, going up and up. And I know a couple of offices that have concerns. One of them, in fact, has already received a sizable increase in their rent, and we indirectly support it through the budget. And as we mentioned the last time, there's no plans that I'm aware of to take the county extension office out of there, or the Red Cross, which are upstairs. And downstairs, we've moved the corner down there in an area for a cooler. And we also have a chaplain office in there now. And there's room, as these needs come up, that we should hopefully be able to fit some other folks in there. So we're hoping, first of all, it is a county asset. There's value to it. And I think if we can take care of it like we should do our county assets, that we can make some good usable space available for some time. So that's just my thoughts on as far as the office needs. And I think if we do the roof, which I really believe we should do this year, and then we can discuss at a later time if there's additional work that needs to be done. But, Commissioner Johnson, you're saying the bid, J&D Construction, you're most comfortable with that one?
I mean, it looks like they're gonna, their whole, it looks like they're gonna do a lot more work for less money.
Okay.
And I would believe that the existing roof needs to come off, all that weight doesn't need to stay up there. It looks like it's probably had 2 layers, so.
They did a good job on our old jail roof. I mean, they did that work for us a couple of years ago. And it looks better, and as far as I know, there's no issues at all with it that have come up. So we do have a track record with them. So that's another point in their favor.
Mr. Helton, I'd like to also just mention too that once we get it dried in and you see that the moisture problem is resolved, that we do need to, that flooring is really bad. And also the baseboards, I'd like to also request, and I don't know, we can check this out, but that the entry building door is not code. It's entering from the inside and not swinging out. It's supposed to be swinging out, and that's something that we could fix with the minimum amount of cost. That door on the upstairs.
All right.
So I'd like to look into that as well.
Okay. All right. So you're okay with moving ahead on the roof at this point?
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion on it before we ask for a motion?
The only thing I would like to clarify with J&D Roofing is to make sure, just looking at the 2 proposals, is to make sure they're gonna, put all new boots on the vents and, on the facial boards. Is that, the ones that we're tearing off, are they gonna put the gutters back up? That might be something else we need to look at. But I think the gutter's gonna be real important to keeping the water.
For the drainage,
off that
I
building.
agree.
So, if we can make sure either they're putting that back up, or maybe, you know, in addition, we can look at if it needs new gutters. I mean, I didn't really look at the gutters, but I think we get a good roof on it and get the water running in gutters, it's gonna take care of a lot of those moisture problems, so.
There's going to need to be new gutters on it, very certain of that. So, I don't believe we had the guttering was addressed with either of the quotes, I don't believe.
And I don't know if either one of these companies do guttering anyway, so.
Yeah, they do. I know Stacy does. I don't know about the other guy. I'm assuming he does.
But as far as roof quote, it looks pretty straightforward to me.
Okay. Well, would it be, can we move on the roof and then these other issues like the guttering and the door and some other things that you gentlemen want to look at it? Can we address those after we address the roof, or at the same time if it's a smart thing to do?
I would say as long as the guttering is included with the J&D construction, which I just.
It's not. I can tell you it's not.
It's not?
No, it's not.
Can we put that in there then, because like we said, we need to have that guttering.
It'd probably have to be a separate quote.
That's what I'm saying, it'd be a separate quote, it'd be a separate quote. And I don't think Stacy's probably, in his quotes, not talking about guttering as well.
Neither one had guttering on it.
Yeah, but we need that.
But, I mean, then what do you gentlemen want to do? Do you want to hold off on the whole thing and have that added to it, or move on with this and then have the guttering added on it separate? And there may be other things as you look at this that you want to do as well. I felt like the roof was the critical thing that we needed to move on.
We may have some leverage if we go, if you wait with the governing, I mean, with the, the drainage issue. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a problem if we want to move forward with the cheapest price now and then just renegotiate the gutters. There's no doubt that it needs a roof, and when I came in here, it was pouring a flood, so I don't have a problem moving ahead with the roof bid and then, either seeking other quotes or whatever. Then go ahead and get started on the roof, because they can't do anything to the gutter till the roof's done anyway, so.
I could talk to Ed about this and see about adding that on there. I agree, I think we need to move forward with getting the roof done. So, any further discussion on this? Okay. I'll make a motion that we move ahead and tear off and re-roof the old fire station with J&D Construction for $28,147. I'll make that motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 2-1. All right, item number 7, Mr. Ratcliffe. Come on down, sir.
I'm gonna give you the good news first. In our grants, our LB grants, of course, we had one last year. and we haven't got a paving started yet, but last year we got $664,195.59 from the Georgia Department of Transportation. We got our letter, I guess the day before yesterday, grants for 2020. It went to $732,476.14, which is $68,280.55 more than we got this year. And those go to paving again. So it's gonna bring it to everybody's attention that we are getting money and we're getting a little more of it.
That'll pay about half of what our contracted paving was for this year, right?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just bring you guys up to speed on that. So, I do with the, detention, crew that's coming to Fannin County, we have to have a transportation for those folks getting to and from, Blairsville. And I have looked high and low. I've had the Ford dealership and some other folks looking. And a passenger van is really, really tough to find. I mean, it's been a tough job. Just sort of looked up on one, A&A Auto Rental in Blairsville. It's Larry Poteet. He has one up there. He will sell. He's putting it on the market for sale. And I went up and drove it. And it's a 2010 E350 club wagon. And it's $13,000 is what the price of it is.
He was asking 14, was he not, and you
Yeah.
offered that and he come down?
Yeah. Just to let you know, this thing's got, was like, I think it's got 100,000 miles on it. I was finding them from 300,000 to 200,000 miles easy. You know, I mean, you can tell they were worn out, really worn out. Here's the deal, we got these guys coming down here to work for us. You get them down here, that thing breaks down, can't get them back, we've got to figure out a way to get them back. Even though this may be a problem sometime down in the future, but at least we got something, a little more dependability here. So we just kind of felt throwing that out there, but that's another reason I was looking at when it's with so few miles.
This van seats how many, is that?
It's actually a 15 passenger, they call it 15 passenger, but it's set up for 12, and that's what we're looking at.
Got any questions or comments, Commissioner Patterson?
No, sir.
Anything, Commissioner Johnson?
What are they gonna haul their tools in?
I've got a trailer, and I've got it fixed up. Aaron too has a place for it. I can walk out there and look at it, and I can tell you in a minute if something is missing.
So they'll be pulling in with the van?
It's set up good. It's got the hitch already.
So the van's got the hitch?
Yep. We do have to do a little work to the van. We've got to put the bars and things over the windows and stuff like that. We've got to bring it up to their specs, fire extinguisher, safety stuff. Nothing much to do.
Yeah, I don't guess you can let them ride an open top van.
Well, I asked about a cargo van. They wouldn't do going for that too well, so no, I don't think so.
No, what I mean, I would venture to say we all should have, we expected this when we decided to hire them.
Sure. Yeah.
This was part of the requirement.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, we're not really looking around at the vans and thinking, you know, we could look at, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 to find something we can. But like I said, it's nothing dependable. I mean, they've got a trip to Blairsville every day, and we're gonna pay them to be here. We need to, you know, come on and be here, not be broke down so much. It's one of those deals. And we are responsible for the transportation to and from us.
If for some reason they don't come, or cannot come, they don't get paid.
They don't. That day is marked off.
Okay. I don't have any further questions on this. Do you have anything else, gentlemen?
When would you like to get started on this?
Van will be available Monday the 22nd. That's when it will be available. And I'll take me probably with the guys working on it in the shop there, probably take them a good week to get everything put in like it's supposed to be. And hopefully the guys will be ready to wire for us after that. Somewhere in there.
Anything else? Well, I would like to make a motion that we buy this 2010 used van for $13,000. I'll make that motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second? Okay. Item number 8, executive session. Do we need executive session, commissioners?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, I'll ask for a motion that we adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Meeting's closed. Thank